I'll talk about that. So I work at the Minneapolis Foundation, which is a community foundation. Basically, we give out money for a living, like $76 million a year. I know it's kind of dope. But grew up North Minneapolis. When I grew up, it was just me and my mom. How many of y'all have single parents, fathers, mothers, something? Right. So you know how it is. It's just tight around the house sometimes. Man, my mom, I don't know about you, like my mom was like my ace. She was pretty dope. Like literally it was me and her and everybody else. She cooked. How many of y'all do like meals for Thanksgiving, Christmas, like special holidays? Like what do y'all usually have? Like is it a big old meal? Is it just y'all? Do y'all have a gang of people over?
Yeah. Everybody's from all different.
Everybody's from all over. Right. What about you? Is there a bunch of people come over like for holidays? It's like 80 of y'all. Like that's how it is at my house. Like whenever I could, even Memorial Day weekend, like we had a ton of people at the house. But that's how it was like every other day at my house. Like moms was throwing down for Thanksgiving like on Tuesdays. Like legit the whole nine. That's just what she did. Cause people always came over. This is my cousin video recording. He lived with us. Literally, I'm not lying. Like it was a full 10-course meal like every other day. My pops was around, but not really around. Like he was there every now and then. He would pop in and out. But he,
show his face here and there.
I mean, he did a little bit more than show his face. But sometimes I would be in the window waiting on him to come picking me up, and he wouldn't be there. So that's just the reality. So I got used to it just being my mother and I. I went to Ascension School, which is over North 17th at DuPont, private school, and we. All I remember is my mom worked like 3 or 4 jobs to make sure she could pay for private school education. She wanted to make sure that I had, good grades, want to make sure I had opportunities, all that stuff. Around maybe 4th or 5th grade, I realized why my mother and father were never like together. My pops was pretty abusive, verbally and physically. Like I used to see them get into it all the time, and it was just like. In my mind, I'm thinking like, how you gonna beat on my mom? Again, my mom's the most important person in my life. How do you talk to a woman like in such a demeaning manner? It's just kind of crazy. So fast forward a little bit, when I was 11, I'm at school. Now, you know how the intercom and the bell goes off. I'm at school sitting in class just like you guys. And I hear, hey, would you guys mind praying for Jesse? I went to a Catholic school. Would you guys mind praying for Jesse? His mom was taken to the hospital. So I'm like, huh. So my uncle comes to pick me up, takes me to the hospital, get there, but mom's is good. Like, she was like, hey, I was feeling a little dizzy, things were, just a little off. They wanted to take me to the hospital to make sure everything was okay. So, and then I just go about my day. Like, we're talking, we're kicking it, doing homework, somebody takes me home. She says, hey, I need you to go stay with your friend Sean until I get out in a couple days. Cool. Mind you, everything was good that day. The next day, I get to class, and kind of somewhere in the middle of the day, I hear this. Hey, would you guys please pray for Jesse, because his mom just died. I remember sitting there, just like you guys sitting there like, my mom just died. Like, what does that really mean? And I'm 11. So as an 11-year-old, you can't really comprehend, like, the most important person in your life being gone. I remember literally feeling like how somebody takes a chair out of you, you fall, and you don't really, like, you're embarrassed, you don't really know how to react. Like, that's what I remember feeling, like that. Like, the most important person in my life is gone. Who's gonna cook? Like, little basic stuff, like, who's gonna cook me food? Where do I go? Who's gonna pick me up for school? And then after that, I just kept, like, going down this road of, like, trying to figure out what's happening. Turns around 5 years later, I didn't actually deal with my mother passing until 5 years later. So when my mother died, I went to go live with my dad. Now again, I told you it was my mom and I, and then maybe somebody else because she always took in people. Went from that to me, my little brother, my dad, my uncle, and my cousin. 5 dudes. Anybody ever been in a house with 5 dudes? What's it like? Great. Right. What do y'all eat? Like, y'all eat like full course meals, or is it like meat and potatoes sometimes? Whatever's right, exactly. It was like, listen, you on your own. So for me, that was a huge switch, especially as a young kid in junior high, trying to figure out, when you're in junior high, you're trying to figure out life and you start feeling yourself. And I'm living with this dude who I don't really know. So I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit. My sophomore year, I went to De La Salle High School. Sophomore year, things started like crashing down. So I'm playing sports, feeling myself, think I'm cute and kind of swole, walking around with a shirt off all the time. But I realized I started hanging out with the wrong crew. Now I got a 3.5 GPA, never missed a day of school, everything going for myself. But I'm kicking it with the wrong people. I'm starting to smoke weed a little bit. Never drank, just never really liked liquor, but just noticed that I started hanging out with a different crew. One of my best friends is a genius in biology. He's the reason why I passed biology. We kicked it at school, and then outside of school, I kicked it with the homies back on 29th and Queen. So I played basketball. I remember one game. I don't even remember who we were playing against. Playing defense, whatever. I think I stole the ball from dude. Dude pushed me. And all I remember is waking up. All I remember is kind of blacking out, and my coach is yelling at me on the side of the bench. I blacked out. Apparently, I choked dude. Apparently, in the middle of the game, dude's at me, and I'm just man, snap on him. And I just remember my coach yelling at me, why are you so angry? What's wrong with you? And I remember, that night on my way home, getting dropped off, I'm just man, what is wrong? There's some stuff going on in my life, and I can't figure out what's really happening. What I've noticed, too, a ton is things happen to us, but we don't really deal with them. Sometimes we just don't know how to deal with them. Sometimes, again, you lose a loved one. Sometimes you know somebody who's going through something, and it's affecting you, but you don't know how to deal with it. So maybe a couple weeks go by after that, come home. Now, again, I went to a De La Salle private school, so we had to wear a shirt tucked in and all that stuff, just extra. I got a letter that said I had a detention. Now, just one detention. Now, mind you, I'm 3.5 GPA. I'm a pretty good. I got perfect attendance every year. Never missed a day of school. But my pops came home, and I don't know if he was upset about something else, but he just started snapping. I can't believe you're, you got a detention, you're jacking off, you're not really doing what you're supposed to do, and he started snapping, and he ended up hitting me, swung on me. So, trying to be respectful, I was man, listen, I don't really have time for this. I'm about to go upstairs to my room. While I'm walking up the stairs, he grabs me. And think about it, I'm walking up the stairs, he grabs me, so I kind of turn around, and I ain't try to hit him. I think I probably kind of socked him a little bit. And so he kind of slipped, so I grabbed him. And so then he looked at me oh, you just trying to push me down the stairs. I'm dude, you was about to fall. I'm trying to help you out. And then he just started hit on me again. It was that very, very moment where I was you know what? I don't know what I'm supposed to do or what I'm supposed how I'm supposed to feel, but I know I'm not supposed to feel like this. Went upstairs, cried my eyes out. It was I'm bawling. And I wrote a letter. I wrote a letter to my mom. I wrote a letter literally just saying why did you leave me? Why did you abandon me? Why did you just have to dip on me? Because now I'm living with this dude who I don't like. That, we don't have a great relationship. Things at school are going crazy, not paying attention. Wrote this letter, left it actually for my stepmom, my dad's wife. Called my guys and was hey, I need you to come and get me. Literally did the whole movie scene, here's your bag. Packed the bag, I can't do this, I'm out of here, I can't. And jumped out the window. Second floor, jumped out the window, smooth tuck and roll, I'm out. But in my mind, it was just any place is better than where I'm at right now. There's a lot of times I know you guys either don't tell people or whatever, we run. We run from our issues, whether it's a class that we can't really comprehend what's going on. There's relationships that you just don't really feel like dealing with, or literally your mom and dad ain't tripping sometimes. You listen, I'm out. So I left home and kind of bounced around from there. Went from friend's house to friend's house friend's house to another friend's house, like staying just long enough that like people knew I needed a place to stay. I went to school every day again, but they didn't know that I was homeless. And then when I would feel like I would be close to overstaying my welcome, I'd like sleep in the park. So I went to friend's house, to friend's house, to sleeping in the park, to friend's house, to sleeping under a bridge, to friend's house. Like kind of just bounced around. Made it to school every day. Took a shower in the locker room, like had clothes somehow, just walked around with bags. And so, but again, to me, anything was better than like just being there with that dude who I didn't feel like I had a relationship with, who also was just, he was just trying to figure out how to parent. And I was kind of the demonstration. So, left home, again, I'm away from home. And then I realized like, man, I need to start figuring out like what I'm gonna do. Like I'm a junior now, I'm trying to figure out what college looks like. So at the end of my junior year, because I wasn't staying at home, my dad stopped paying my tuition. So I don't know how it works here, but if you, or at other private schools, but if you don't pay your tuition, you can't take your finals. So like, think about finals day, it's like, cool, let's study for this test, you do all this studying, and you walk into class and they're like, yeah, Mr. Ross, you gotta go down to the office. So I wasn't able to take any of my finals, 6 classes, and instead of giving me like incompletes, which means you can take it later or we'll just figure out how to make it work, they gave me Fs. So my 3.5 GPA dropped to like a 0.59. I mean, it was pretty much like the whole semester I got all Fs.
Okay.
Right, it's tight. So scholarships that I was working on for track at Carthage College, I wanted to go to Jackson State down in Mississippi where my mom went, like all that's out the window. And I spent the rest of my senior year, I ended up transferring to North and just like couldn't play sports because I didn't have no time and I had to take extra classes. So I'm in school, taking all my required classes, plus doing ALC, plus doing online. This is before like online school was actually like official. Ended up graduating, so worked that out. But again, like my senior year and pretty much the rest of like my freshman year in college, or what would have been my freshman year in college, I took a year off because I needed to just breathe. I was trying to figure out, okay, what's my purpose? What's life like? And there's some principles that I learned through my mom passing away, but also through just dealing with my pops. Like everybody, each and every one of us deals with pain. We just all deal with it some different way. Some people deal with pain, they smoke, some people drink, some people have sex, some people cut, some people just like check out. Like you might not do all that other stuff, but you just like, man, I'm good. What's up, brother? How you doing? Good to see you. We all have pain. And so one thing is like we have pain, but then also like other people have pain. So my pops, he didn't know how to parent. Like he had no idea what to do. But I couldn't see that because I'm in the middle of my stuff. I was too busy thinking about my stuff to be worried about his stuff. But I think that translates a lot into life. Like sometimes we're so caught up in our stuff that we can't think about the person next to us. And rightfully so. Like we all got to figure it out for ourselves. But if I'm so worried about you, or if I'm so worried about me, and you're in class like struggling, like I can't help you. I can't even like even attend to your needs or to notice like, man, you look kind of down. Like if you're like a chipper or cheery person like every day, and then one day you just like straight face like, no, I'm not doing it. Like if I'm so caught up in myself, I miss that. And you sitting there like, hey, you don't see me? Like this is not my normal personality. So that's a couple things that I learned. The other thing I learned too is like, even though my mom passed away, like now as a 31-year-old, as a dad, like I have to use everything in my in the process that I've gone through to push me to the next level. So I told you I'll tell you a little bit about what I do. So I work at a foundation. I work at a foundation where literally we give about $76 million out a year to schools, to organizations, to companies who want to make Minneapolis or the greater metro Minneapolis a better place. How did I get there? As I barely graduated high school. I got some college